Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Quest for Fire. We have Dani Martin with us today. Dani's an expert on emotional thriving. We're coming live to you from the Laurel Langmeyer seminar at the Crown Plaza Hotel near Disneyland in Orange County, California. Dani's got over 24 awards in, correct me if I'm wrong, in stress reduction, emotional, and grief counseling?
And grief counseling.
Grief
yes.
counseling. Well, welcome, Dani.
Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about you and what you do and how you got here.
The story goes back to me being a victim of a violent crime, and it was horrifying, and I got help. Many people don't know how to get past their trauma, and the steps that I was guided to by many different forces helped me to live my life thriving and not as a victim. And I have a nonprofit organization. We share that message.
Wow. Okay, and how long have you been doing this work?
I think of it as over 25 years.
Wow.
We've had the nonprofit for 6 years.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll talk about that in just a minute. So, I guess the first question I want to ask, and I'm going to have to refer to my notes here because I was reading up on this stuff, from our conversation. And one of the things that struck me was that I read that over 80% of illnesses are stress related. Is that?
Yeah, the body can't handle the stress we put on it. We are in overwhelm so much of the time. If we could nip it in the bud by actions that we do, day-to-day actions, it's different than take a pill.
Okay, so you say day-to-day actions.
Yes.
Like, for instance?
When people get mad or upset or tense, they hold their breath.
Okay.
And that's the vital number one thing that we need to do is breathe.
Sure.
How do they teach women to be able to handle childbirth without medication? Breath patterns.
Okay.
So there's a simple breath pattern that we teach that really calms the nervous system. It works right away. You can teach it to your kids. Teach it to people who are upsetting you, and your stress level will really go down.
Wow. That's amazing. So what does that look like?
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
Exhale slowly. Pause. Inhale slow. We're doing a count to 4. Pause. Exhale. Pause. The peacefulness and the calm is in that pause. Breathe normally.
Yeah, exactly.
The military use this technique. It's called tactical breathing when they teach it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The nervous system adjusts and finds a positive neutral during that pause. At the top and the bottom of every breath, you have access to your calm. It's in the pause.
Wow, that's amazing. See, who knew this stuff? I usually use that kind of a breathing pattern to cure my hiccups. People have all these different little cures, like drink a glass of water
Yes.
upside down or whatever. I actually know that controlled breathing, because hiccups are a result of a spasm in the diaphragm. So if you control your breathing, you can control your hiccups and you can cure them.
So if you did breathing techniques, just to calm, just to give yourself that little break,
Yeah.
your body actually looks forward to it. Now, I can't teach techniques when I'm doing counseling for grief trauma.
Yeah.
The breathing I can do, but some of my other techniques I just have to use to help individuals to not keep diving down when they've been given terrible news or experiencing something awful.
So you're talking about something like a shame or a grief spiral?
Yes, yes. So to stop it and get them to be able to transition to a better place. They don't have to be happy. There's things that deserve our grief and our sadness.
Sure.
And we shouldn't deny those things. But if we're practiced on basic stress reduction and our body is trained to react to it, then when those terrible things happen, we're going to be able to rebound better. I can do techniques when people start to cry and get teary-eyed.
Wow.
That will help dry the tears. They still feel the emotion, doesn't leave them, but it doesn't go to the depths to make them uncontrolled. And then they learn to shift to a happier thought or memory, and they can cope better with life, day to day.
Wow, who knew this stuff? This is all brand spanking new to me. Well, I've got another thing, a little note here, and it says, I make these notes here. Can you walk us through? Let's say I've just been given some really bad news. I'm going to have to stay an extra 3 hours late for work, or somebody in my family's been in a car accident. Of course, I'm going to feel stressed.
Yes.
So, what does it look like walking through stress reduction or stress relief in this case, or in any case?
So the first thing your body tends to do is everything tightens up. You can't take a deep breath.
Right.
So if you've already trained to do some expansion, sit up straight, get your whereabouts, put both feet on the floor, get grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If there's somebody that you can talk to, if you share energy, so do you mind if I hold your hand? So here, if someone's just been given news and I have contact with them,
Mm-hmm.
what I just did by putting your hand on top of mine is I gave you some power.
Okay.
Power over. Okay? When you're shaking hands with somebody, okay, we have an equal squeeze and we're on
Right.
equality.
Right.
This is power over. So I've given you that power. Now with the woman I can do this, which is giving compassion on top of giving you strength.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And if I start doing this, okay, I'm tapping on the hand and your subconscious wants to know why.
Yeah.
So now instead of spiking emotionally, what we're trying to do is get various quadrants of your brain to start working and doing some other things.
So is this kind of a distraction in a way?
Yes, but it's also sending a rhythm through your body. You're 80% fluid, between 70 to 80% depending on your hydration level.
Sure.
Okay? Sends a pattern. Our body loves pulses. Where do the nerves live? In the fluids. And so when you're all chaotic, everything's just been going crazy, if you send a pattern through, listening to music does that.
By the way,
nerve
you don't have to
endings
stop
move.
holding my hand.
Many techniques can help. When you're given the worst news or just frustrating news,
Mhm.
what do? Distract yourself a little bit so you can get things in order.
Okay.
Okay, writing things down is also something amazing. When your kids are really mad and upset, depending on the age, teach them they need to write it down first before they talk to you about it. You can help them when they're very little. Uses different quadrants, areas of your brain,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets you out of that overwhelm, overreaction. And people,
Okay.
when they write, start contemplating and they start breathing differently. If somebody's really upset with not being able to do one thing, you give them something else.
Right.
Okay? Artwork can happen, writing can happen, singing can happen. Oh, we talked about when something goes over and over in your mind, you can't get off of that pattern.
Right.
Okay, one more, Jim. Okay, before we end.
I'm all ears.
All right. So this one is hard to force yourself to do it, but you can do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Shoot.
What's your zip code?
90064.
Mary had a little lamb. What's your phone number?
310-838.
Okay. So, Ring Around the Rosies. Good. You have now accessed different parts of your brain away from the emergency central.
That's wonderful.
So the fluids and the emotions that are all stuck in that one thing.
Mhm.
Every feeling you have is chemical combinations. Okay, we all know about adrenaline, yay!
Right.
But stress also, so it's chemicals. So how do we control that in our body? It affects everything. So you can get your mind off topics. You can breathe yourself to peace.
My
but you
God,
must
this
practice.
is fascinating. This is fascinating stuff. We're going to be right back with you. We need to take a quick break, pay some bills, and we have Maria Plouffe. Maria Plouffe, come on over, Maria, and tell the nice folks at home what you do and how you do it.
Well, hola Nico,
Hola.
amigos, yo me llamo María y yo puedo enseñarles español. Hi everyone, my name is Maria and I can teach you Spanish. Have you ever wanted to learn Spanish but didn't know where to start? I can help you. Or maybe you took Spanish in school but still can't learn the language. I can help. What I'm offering today is 2 personalized Spanish sessions via Skype at the low introductory price of $45. Just think, you get 2 30-minute sessions with me, Maria, your personal Spanish coach. So either call or text me today at 248-797-6265. That's 248-797-6265. And for anyone in the Metro Detroit, Michigan area, I would love to come to your home. Hasta luego, amigos.
Thank you, Maria.
Hasta luego, Nico.
Hasta luego.